Hey, my name is Jordy. I am a drummer, and today I'm going to talk to you about something called business drumming. What is it and how can it make you more money? Let's talk about it. So I came across an awesome subject the other day called business writing, and without going into the boring details, essentially it's how do I write effectively in a business setting? Long story short, don't write so many long sentences and use very short, basic sentences. That's it. Just write less. That's the whole thing. This got me thinking about a concept that I am calling business drumming that I wish someone would have talked to me about 10 years ago when I started my own drumming career. So what are the rules of business drumming? And how does that make me more money over time? Well, there's three basic things. The first thing, if you can play in time with a metronome, you are instantly better than 80% of any working drummer. It's just true. If you had enough experience in this world, you know what I'm talking about. If you can play a basic groove in time with a metronome, people are gonna love you. They're gonna think you're the best drummer ever. You didn't even play anything very fancy, but they're just gonna be like, oh my God, who was that person? They're so good. Like, we need to call them back. I'm telling you, it's just the way it works. The opposite is also true. If you don't play in time, you will make every single band member hate you with a burning passion and never want to call you again, okay? So, for some reason, just playing in time before you get fancy, before you get complicated, before you do anything else, just play with a metronome. That's the first rule. That's like 80% of it. The rest is just filler. The second rule of drumming, and feel free to disagree with this, but this is just something that I've come up with, singable fills. You need to play singable fills. I have found that making fills that I could personally sing back to you do better than ones that I couldn't sing. Let me tell you an example. A fill is supposed to make you feel something. It's supposed to be, okay, groove, 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 interrupt the pattern with a fill, groove, groove, groove. It's supposed to shock you and break you out of that pattern of the groove and cause an emotional reaction or set up some other hit in the music. That's the whole point of it. Meaning, it's got a job to do. It's not just time for you to solo. It's not a drum solo. Fills that you could sing, meaning stuff like that is gonna work better most of the time than more complicated fills. It's just like in business writing, using more complicated words doesn't mean it's better writing. Even though it's harder to spell and harder to form a sentence with, that doesn't mean it's better or works better. And we're talking about working better. Generally, fills that are something like this, or like this, tend to work better than fills like this, or like this. I don't make the rules. I just try to play by them. The third rule is this. When you're drumming and you're trying to be a business drummer, I'm gonna call it, you need to put yourself in the shoes of the audience member and the person who hired you. And think, the thing I'm about to play right now, would I wanna hear this? If I were in that person's situation, let's say I'm drumming at a restaurant in a jazz quartet or something like that. I'm going on a first date with someone that I met and I really like this girl or something, and I'm trying to impress her, but I'm nervous or blah, 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 all the first date stuff, right? Do I want a drummer just going ham on some, trading fours section of a song? No. I don't want some crazy distracting drummer who's trying to play a 3/4 groove over a 4/4 groove and do a metric modulation, blah, 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 blah. Not the time. Now, if you're at a show of, okay, we're gonna go hire some crazy musicians like at some like jazz fusion festival and people are there to see crazy fills. Well then yeah, that's the point. But then again, put yourself in the shoes of the audience. If they're expecting crazy fills, play them. If they're not, do not play them. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, check out the other videos on this channel. I'm basically making a series of videos that I wish I would have come across when I started drumming professionally like 10 years ago. So check them out. Hope you like them, and I'll talk to you next time.